Hello everyone, welcome back to a new plays Xin Zhao every day until Zaahen is released in Wild Rift. Once again, we're Xin Zhao, and I believe this is actually a ranked game. Starting on the blue buff, we have Mel on our team, so that's already quite a big advantage. We also have a Rumble top, so overall, our damage seemed pretty balanced. However, we do have a Senna as our ADC. Senna as ADC is not like a huge problem, I assume, but in this elo, most of the time the Sennas are not building the correct items. But as I shit on Senna players, I mess up my very own clear. Recently, I've been trying more and more on like trying to double camp even more effectively, but that usually results in me smiting the wrong target because I'm so used to just tapping smite, and if I'm targeting the frog, the Grump, I would just smite the Grump and leave the blue buff like uncontested, and unattended, and then he'll just reset. So our first camp clear is actually significantly slowed down because of this. I basically missed an entire camp's worth of time. However, our team got our first blood, and Evelyn is actually rotating downwards towards the blue buff or waiting for the scuttle. She got rid of some vision, but I have an idea that she's there already, so I'm in no hurry to get the bottom scuttle since it's most likely that she'll be going for the top scuttle. And by the time she paths down, I would have finished this clear, and well, Xin Zhao definitely beats Evelyn at the early levels, so I was not too worried about here. However, I did see Rumble ping on my way, and I am slightly worried about him because his health is significantly lower than Urgot, and Urgot has a shield. Urgot is quite annoying. I think this is after he got buffed, and so I am hovering around, and I see that Urgot kind of overstepped, so I just decided to go in to do some damage. And Rumble actually tried to use the ulti to follow up, but Urgot flashed for ulti, which is a decent trade. And as planned, I get the scuttle, and I see Evelyn is actually ganking Mel, and I'm running as fast as I can to her. However, it seems that she was able to disengage without my help. And now I just decided, okay, there's no tempo to do anything. Twisted Fate's probably not going to push up right now. He just saw me, and running upward to the dual lane is just a waste of time. So instead, I get the Sheen item, which is very good on Xin Zhao, because he has so many abilities to spam, and just return to farming my jungle. The timing is actually pretty accurate. They're coming down, but honestly, I feel like I could have done a lot more if I didn't mess up the first clear. But mistakes were made. It's about what you do next. And here, I am looking for an angled top because I still have a bit of time before my camps completely respawn. And I think this is one of the major things that I have learned as a jungle, is that a solo queue jungle is that you should gank lanes based on your clear, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting for my camps to respawn. That's why I have some time to camp the dual lane, but once my camp is beginning to respawn, I just go back and focus on getting myself fed first. I can't take care of other people if I can't take care of myself. Twisted Fate kind of ults here, so I kind of ping enemy missing, but by then it's a little too late for our Rumble, and I believe he's going to be caught. And here, since Evelyn is ganking down, I decided I'm going to gank here, and actually got quite some good damage off, and freaking Ezreal lives by the skin of his teeth. That's just pure luck in my opinion. And he left Blitzcrank behind, so at least there's still a kill. So we did equalize the score, and with first blood, the gold is swinging to our favor. Here, I'm just getting some platings with Senna, since there's like 3 of us, so I feel like we need to get just a few more platings before this whole situation is truly worth it. And now I'm pathing down, and this time I actually waited for the scuttle spawn instead of just my blue buff. So I can just get the scuttle, and then now I can do the blue buff. And I can actually get Trinity Force already, so that's a very good early game for Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao is just super duper strong with Trinity Force early game. So I believe I'm going to recall here and just buy Trinity Force. I have learned from my mistakes. Just staying at no items or low items is just a waste of talent for Xin Zhao. I did not intend to stay and help the Mel counter gank or whatever because the tempo is just way off. If I do up show top again, there's a very good chance that Evelyn's going to counter my jungle, and she actually did. She stole my raptors. And yeah, that's not ideal. However, she did not steal my red buff, and she also has a presence of mind to think that I might be coming back. She also got my stone Krugs, which is sad. However, but I believe that huge invade that happened just now would result in that. Urgot once again bullying our Rumble out of lane, and I actually did an accidental brilliance there by ulting the Urgot first before tagging him, since that pushes him to the wall and he just takes like the full damage from the Rumble ult. Afterwards, it's just pretty standard Wind becomes lightning to Audacious Charge. And now I'm looking to counter jungle, because Evelynn took my jungle and now she's showing top, and this is the perfect time for me to counter her jungle and just get some gold back to equalize the situation. And by taking the Gromp and the Wolves, I believe I've gotten back most of the money for my Krugs and my Raptors. I would have stayed for the blue buff, however, because objectives are spawning soon, and I think boots are way more worth it than just staying for another camp. So that's my decision to buy the MR boots, since there's Twisted Fate and Evelynn and Ezreal. There are quite a few AP damage, so I'm going for the magic resist boots instead of the plated steel caps. My teammates are pinging for Dragon because it's Inferno, however, I still think first turret is just worth way more, especially with how much at least my champion, relies on snowballing, and honestly it's way easier to play from ahead than behind. So here I make sure to clear the lane as fast as possible before I send out the Herald, and then I look for another counter invade, because our Herald is giving a lot of vision mid, and they're forced to answer, so I can just take the Raptors. But I did see Evelynn lurking around my jungle, so I'm looking to catch her out. However, her whole team is here to save her, and I do not want to extend myself into the vision of the enemy team. But Twisted Fate actually ulted to our bush to try to save Evelynn just in case. Instead, he just cost him his own life. And once again, Ezreal survived on 1 HP and wasted my Audacious Charge. And I think it's definitely because of that Audacious Charge that I couldn't kill Evelynn here. Otherwise, Evelynn is also dead. That Ezreal is just super lucky, I'm gonna be honest. But we got even more counter invade off, and we can just base and start to work towards our Sundered Sky. It's lucky that we got first turret in mid, because we lost our bot lane turret already. Urgot is just way too oppressive in my opinion. His percentage health damage is just so high, but if he doesn't get going, he really struggles. I do understand that. He's quite a bit of a lane bully, but in team fights he offers, well, he's kind of like a Scion. He's a juggernaut, but you can't really ignore him either, and there's definitely a lot of value in solo queue, where there's not a lot of communication. It's usually about the fight. So now my camps are respawning. Just gonna do the Raptors first and try to double camp the red as well, since it's just a little faster. I tried my best to do a lot of double camps this time, and I think it's working out in my favor. We're on 3-0s too, and I'm arriving to this fight kind of late. And unfortunately, our Rumble got ulted by the Urgot, and I didn't really want to go in here. And this is something I think I have to work on or just pay more attention to. I don't know if you noticed, but the first time I did the Audacious Charge, I was trying to dash to the Twisted Fate. I don't know why, but the button did not recognize, the input didn't get recognized, and I had to tap Audacious Charge again, and then I dashed into like 3 enemies instead of the 1 low HP player. So that was a bit annoying. I was trying to finish off the Twisted Fate, but either way, dashing in was just kind of risky. I was hoping to dash into Twisted Fate and then Audacious Charge, use my ulti to just send everyone backwards, and I'll get a kill and equalize the situation. Instead, I dove right in like an idiot and just died. I guess I'll have to learn more about those micro of these just targeting. I think I've mentioned this before, especially in my video where I also included like a Renekton game. My micro definitely needs working on, and there are some small moments like these that I'm not sure why the input is like this, or maybe I'm just not doing it correctly. Because there's no laners here, I'm forced to be the one that defends against this turret push, and I actually got grabbed. And here Urgot ulted me, but I think I stunned him with my ulti, so instead I was able to not get executed. And here we have a very good angle. We're about to kill Urgot. He's 1 HP, and Senna just completely misses. And I was so depressed here, because Urgot was literally 1 HP. All she needed to do was like 1 more auto attack and Urgot would have died, but she used her ability on Ezreal and Blitzcrank instead, and then that kill slipped away and I just died for nothing. It's very unfortunate, but yeah, I guess I should have just played better and played smarter and played for myself. So I went for the Stairx gauge because of the executes on the enemy team from the Urgot, and now I'm building towards Death Stance. I don't think Sundered Sky would benefit me too much here, so I was not going for that. I was afraid of the Evelyn execute as well, so having that lifeline shield is definitely very good. And once again, back to a jungle clear, and Dragon is spawning, and we saw Evelyn bot, so that's why I'm just going to immediately initiate against the Dragon and try to pull him out and do it before the Evelyn can completely recall and come back. Just try not to give her time to react. And if I can take this Dragon, then there's no soul on the table, and we will be chilling for the rest of the game. And as you can see, Evelyn just arrived, pretty sure because she had to base from bot lane. And here I try to catch the Twisted Fate, but he's just so fast. I think he has Ghost, and he just ghosted away. So instead of just chasing into the enemy team jungle, I fell back and started doing my own jungle again. So right now, the only reason to fight is to contest for Baron, which none of us really have the angle to do so, but my team really wants to fight. They're literally 4 mid fighting, and I could choose either to stop Urgot or help my team, and I feel like helping my team is better. And they actually succeeded in fighting, and with me coming from behind, the enemy team has nowhere to go. So now we have 3 picks, and this is the perfect Baron angle. But as usual, not many people are listening to me. They got the kill on Blitzcrank. Ezreal's gonna respawn, and we're doing this Baron extremely slowly. Finally, our ADC Senna comes as well, and we are doing it still very, very slowly. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Senna is not building items that I think you should build on Senna ADC. But we'll figure that out later. So here, I just counter my jungle a little bit more, just to put the enemy team a little more behind, before I go back to buy components for my Death Stance. And slowly but surely, I'm recognizing who's the main problem in the enemy team, and this Urgot seems to be a huge problem along with the Blitzcrank. Wolves just respawned, so I'm just going to do that first. Our team is not coordinated to do any tower pushes at all, so instead I'm just going to wait for an opportunity to dash right in. And here Seraphine seems to be supporting me, so instead I just decided, okay, this is a good angle to engage, and she hits a great ultimate, and that Twisted Fate stood no chance. I didn't even have to flash for it. I think you saw me hovering over the flash. I was deciding whether or not it's worth it. And now I'm able to get my Death Stance, but instead I look for the counter jungle first, and because my team is actually grouping for mid, I also want to help with the push. I should reward these good plays using our Baron buff, finally. And here we see that the turret is actually getting pushed, and Ezreal is very low, and once again he got knocked down to 1 HP, but Mel doesn't realize, so she didn't ult, and Ezreal once again walked away with 1 HP left. Luck really is on his side. We pushed the inhibitor, and I pinged retreat because it's before 15 minutes. The Nexus has a shield, so there's no point dwelling there, but my team refuses to retreat, and now Seraphine and I, the only ones doing the right play, are getting punished for it, and now my team is stuck behind the enemy lines, getting flanked. Luckily they make it out, but Seraphine and I both die, and now Mel is also traded. Now this situation is equalized. It goes from a very good take of a free inhibitor where we can keep everyone alive. Now we have 3 people died and giving the enemy team way more money than we should. Urgot is building something very, very weird. He's building anti-shield to counter the Rumble, and then he's building mostly AP, like AP resist, magic resist. And I was debating between the Amaranth Twin Guard or something else, but then I do realize that this Urgot is slowly becoming a problem, and the longer the fight drags on with him, the more difficult it is to kill them. So instead I went for anti-shield just to deal with him specifically, because I believe my damage is enough to deal with everyone else. And no one is here to catch the bot wave, so once again I'm the jungler is here to catch the wave, while 4 of my teammates are hanging around mid. And they're gonna chase the enemy team to their jungle once again, which is very dangerous. Our Seraphine is actually doing a great job warding. Honestly, I don't think I sing enough praises to this support Seraphine. She seems to be doing a lot of good plays right now, and I don't think I noticed during the game. Twisted Fate ulted to our backlines and got slaughtered by our Rumble. And here I just decided to push another wave because I want the enemies to be at their tower when this next dragon spawns. Of course, there's no soul, so it's no rush. Instead, because I saw so many people, I saw 3 people mid, and then I saw the Urgot bot. So instead, I just equalized the tower situation first. This Evelynn really can't do much against me. She's 1 level down, and against a Xin Zhao bruiser in a one-on-one fight, she's not the strongest. And here, because the enemy has bounty, I just decided, no matter what, even if the bounty expired just now, I don't want them to get this dragon for free, because it's still 150 gold. So instead, I just try my best to take it as quickly as possible, and then begin rotating back down, because Urgot is starting to become a problem. And I think Rumble is going to die. Yep, he's going to be executed, and now Senna is in trouble. Senna is our ADC. I don't know if you caught that, but she is not building ADC items. She's buying Searing Crown or something like that. And Urgot once again dealt with, and we actually have to shut him down. So he's actually on a killing streak. And so I was correct in my analysis that he is becoming a bit of a problem. Now I'm tagging the Blitzcrank, and then here I probably should have just started Baron, but I saw Ezreal coming down, so I decided I'm going to hide in the bush and catch him off guard. Unfortunately, Senna and Seraphine actually both showed themselves, so the Ezreal was not caught. Instead, I counter their jungle again and see if there's another kill, but I'm pinging my team to fall back. Once again, I'm following them because it's better to make a decision as a team, the whole team making a wrong decision to increase the success of the outcome, rather than just me doing the Baron and then while they're just all dying, and then I'll just end up leashing the Baron for them. And now, once again, I do the Baron call, and Rumble is doing my wolves. He's not pushing any lanes, he's not going toward pushing mid and getting ready to help us with his ultimate. He's just doing wolves. He's not even doing blue buff, so the whole team will get it. So, amazing teammate once again. And Evelynn, I saw him pathing to my blue, and instead I just start doing the red. I also ping the Rumble because it's actually really annoying when teammates are just farming my jungle instead of fucking helping with the objectives. And here I just decided I'll just continue farming a bit first. It's not like we're gonna make use of our Baron too well anyway. So here they're catching the Evelynn off guard, and I realize I am the win condition of this team. I have the most consistent damage, so having Guardian Angel giving me a second chance is going to be very, very good. And as you can see, my team is actually doing okay damage, but it's only because I'm here that to disrupt the Urgot shield that he's able to die this quickly. So the anti-shield was definitely a worthwhile buy. And here I see the Ezreal. I waited for my Audacious Charge to get off cooldown before I flash, so that Ezreal has less of a chance to react. And now I can see that we can actually just win the game. And Rumble teleports to bot. Teleports to top lane. Instead of helping the ADC and Seraphine that are fighting for their lives or helping me push mid, he teleports back to defend an inhibitor that Mel is respawning to defend. Luckily, the enemy all actually decided to surrender, and I just ping Rumble a couple more times because that macro is just unacceptable. It is just incredibly bad. He could have either saved Seraphine or just helped me win this game even faster if the enemy team didn't surrender. But overall, this game was meh. And my teammates are still making some questionable decisions, but this support, Seraphine, is absolutely the MVP. She was extremely helpful, and the Mel actually got quite a bit of kills too. I don't know if you caught that, but Senna was building Searing Crown into Amaranth's Twin Guard. But this time I actually used PTA instead of Conqueror, and it's doing a lot less damage. So I'm going to stick with Conqueror from this point on. But yeah, that will do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.